Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to what I believe is episode 15 of Not the 76 O'Clock News. And once again, it really is not the 76 O'Clock News. I can't believe I'm actually congratulating a games developer for staying out of the news for a few weeks, but I am. It's like, it's been a month maybe since you've screwed up so badly we've all screamed at you. Well done! It's, little terrible, isn't it? No, it's been yet another week of other games companies that I probably don't care about making headlines. Apparently Nintendo and Pokemon, and I don't care. I'm sorry. The Dark Knights. Thank you for the resub. Oh, I just realised. I started thinking, I don't need my sound on. There's no reason I need my sound on, but I just realised if I don't have my sound on, I don't actually know when there's alerts and things. There's a new Inside the Vault article from Bethesda introducing the new NPCs, the allies, who have quests and stay at your camp. That's part of the Wastelanders thing, right? So we're going to wait until they release Wastelanders and that all fails, and then we'll probably have... How can I not care about Pokemons? Because I'm way too old. Basically. So simple as that. Old is just a number, Gopher. Yeah. And it's just a number that's too large for me to really care about Pokemon. I was a grown-up when Pokemon came out, so I didn't get in on that whole, you know, isn't this wonderful thing that everyone else did. You guys might as well be asking me why I don't care about the Teletubbies. In fact, I probably care about the Teletubbies more than I care about Pokemon, because the Teletubbies helped me stay sane. Old people say Pokemons. Okay. If you say so. So, I'm probably going to be asking you what news there is out there, because I've really been sort of missing a lot of it this week beyond the Pokemon. I've really not seen anything that wasn't just rehashes of, or like really old news. So, oh look, Anthem's still crap, and they're thinking about revamping it and probably making Anthem 2, and who knows. And apparently they've made the amazing decision this time to actually focus on gameplay and test the gameplay before releasing the game. It's a radical concept. And you know, I don't know why. It's just a feeling I've got. That might actually be a good idea. Carrington T, thank you for the resub. Why am I'm not getting any sound. Did you buy Anthem? No, I did not. I did not buy Anthem. Was I supposed to? I need to find out if my sound is working. Give me a second. Nope, I got no sound. You've probably got sound. I've got no sound. Give me sound. Oh, we got the hype train going. Oh, I've got sound. I got sound. I've already tweeted. I've been tweeting. So, yeah, pretty much the only real bit of news I have for you, not sure it's news exactly, but like a big, you know, huge hint, is Kingdom Come Deliverance is free right now on the Epic Store. Now, I know some of you are like, oh, refuse to join the Epic Store. Okay, that's fair enough. That's okay. But, oh, thank you very much, Clue. But yes, yeah. So if you hate the Epic Store, just ignore everything I'm about to say. But Kingdom Come Deliverance is free, as is another. They give out free games all the time. I'm gonna show you my library. The only games I have bought on the Epic Store were The Outer Worlds and Metro Exodus. And yet you can see all of the games I've got. And I've not even got all the ones I could have got if I'd been paying attention. They've just been giving away free games constantly, non-stop. And yes, before anyone goes, oh, but that's how they're trying to get you. Yeah, well, they got me. But I also got lots of free games. So I'm kind of one of those people. It's like somebody saying, right, yes, but that's how this supermodel seduces you into bed. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I'm just trying to see the downside. So I get it. Epic Games, bad. Timed exclusives, bad. Free games. And here's the thing. There's nothing stopping you installing Epic Games Installer and getting the free games and never giving them a penny. Nothing. There's nothing. So there's no actual reason why you can't stay solid against the Epic Store and go off and get lots of free games. Unless you're not convinced that you're strong enough to resist the urge to occasionally buy a game from them. See, I'm like double daring you. But anyway, essentially here, how many of the free games did you play though? None. Absolutely none. I've played no free games. Not a one. I've got so many games on Steam, it's unbelievable. But I don't really care. It's kind of like, hey, they offer a free game. I'll take it just in case one day I actually do want to play it. I've got it. It's there. I've even got Kingdom Come Deliverance. I own it on Steam with all the DLC. But I now also own it on the Epic Store. Why? Because I can. That's it. That's the only reason. No other reason whatsoever. KCD is on sale on GOG. No, it's not free. It's totally and utterly not free on Epic. You should go to GOG and buy it from GOG on my link. I have a link. Buy it from GOG. Epic Store sucks. Don't buy games on Epic Store. Technically, I played FTL. Not on Epic, I didn't. And I believe I own FTL 3 times now. I've got FTL on GOG, I think, as well as Steam. So, yeah. Anyway, if for some reason you've not played Kingdom Come Deliverance, and part of that's been because, you know, you lacked money or something, it is currently free on GOG, and you could get it. You could try it out for free if you hate Epic, and if you decide you like it, then you can go over to GOG on my link, buy it on GOG, and everyone's a winner then. Everyone's a winner. It's not free on GOG though. So you'd have to buy it on GOG. But honestly, I'm all for buying these games. But as far as I know, if you pick this up free on Epic, the Kingdom Come Deliverance devs are getting paid for it. I mean, I'm assuming that the Epic Store can't just give the game away for free and, you know, Warhorse Studios doesn't get anything. I'm assuming Warhorse Studios gets a sale even if Epic actually doesn't get any money from it and makes a loss on it. My guess is they're doing this. They're willing to make a loss just so that you end up with a massive game library like I've got on Epic and have a reason to keep Epic installed. And it's brilliant marketing. What is it marketing? Yes, it is. It's marketing. It's brilliant marketing because whilst you can scream about how consumer unfriendly they are with the exclusives, it's very hard to scream consumer unfriendly when they're throwing free stuff at the consumer. They're saying, in order to get loyal paying customers, we're willing, in these early days, to just throw free stuff at you. And I'm trying to see the downside. It's not a massive library, but you know, it's whenever I see a game on the Epic Store and it's free, I get it, because why not? It's as simple as that. There's some of the games here I might play, like Darksiders 2. I've played Arkham Asylum. I've got that on, I think I've got that on, I may even have that on GOG, but I've definitely got it on Steam as well. I have a feeling I've got all the Batman games. I liked Arkham Asylum. I just got a bit bored of it. Stopped playing halfway through. But yeah, so there you go. Kingdom Come Deliverance. For free. For free. Go get it. Go play it. Try it out. If you like it, go buy it again. Well, you wouldn't be buying it again, but technically you'd be supporting the developers. If you tried it on Epic, here's the other thing. Every time I get one of these free games, I'm technically supporting these developers. I mean, if you think about it, not only did I get Kingdom Come Deliverance on... I wonder if I've got... Isn't that available on GOG? It is. We've just said it's available on GOG. I think I own it on GOG. Is actually what I was going to ask, and my brain just got twisted. I think I own it on GOG. I own games in multiple places. Oh, the problems of YouTuber faces. But yeah, if you get it, even if you don't intend playing it, the developers get, like, money for it. So, you know, go get all the free games just to support the developers. It's a brilliant marketing scheme, if you can afford the loss. And apparently they can. I have to ask, though, if you've got this much money to throw away, at the same time, why don't you just throw some of the money at a better interface and, like, deal with all of the issues that people are complaining about? I would also, yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out if the exclusives have helped them, things like the Outer Worlds and Metro, because I did buy them on the Epic Game Store, but I already owned the Epic Game Store because I installed it more or less the instant it came out and started handing out free games. So I've always had the Epic Game Store installed. And yes, I've got Ticket to Ride installed. I play this game with my kids. We've got the European version as well. So I just wanted to try it out on computer form. That's like work and stuff. Yeah, but if you've got huge amounts of money, you could pay developers to work for you and stuff, right? I mean, if you've got the money to get all these timed exclusives and all these free games, I can't help but wonder, maybe get a few less timed exclusives, just say half the timed exclusives, or I don't know, none of them, and just give away free games and make the interface... If they made the interface rival Steam's for things like, you know, shopping cart and all the other things that are missing. I'm still not a big... I don't care about the reviews. I just don't. I don't even care about the shopping cart. I'll be honest with you. I rarely buy more than one game at once. And when I say rarely, I do mean stupidly rarely. And so... But, you know, work on all the things that people complain about... Give all these free games away. Give a good cut to the developers on games people buy. And, you know, win. But apparently, timed exclusives is doing the job for them. I don't understand big companies sometimes. I really don't. There's a little side of me is going like, this doesn't make any sense. You've got more money than sense, which might explain why it doesn't make any sense. But again, you've got more money than sense. Spend some of it on addressing the things everyone hates about your store. Why does everyone give Epic so much exposure? Because they're giving away free games. I'm sorry, have I been confusing you? They're getting exposure because they give away free games like Kingdom Come Deliverance. I need to actually get the Metro Exodus DLCs. The missing shopping cart is annoying if you have to buy multiple DLC for one game. Yeah, I guess. I suppose that could be the moment when it is a little annoying. And again, as little as it bothers me, it still staggers me that they didn't just throw a lot of money at some developers and say, get us a shopping cart right now. I mean, really, I do understand these things are never as simple as they sound. So I'm not suggesting it's just going to require like one developer to walk in and spend an afternoon and voila, we've got a functioning shopping cart. But I am suggesting it's as simple as throwing money at a team of 70 developers or 100 developers and saying, right, you 20 do a shopping cart and we want it in a month. You guys do a review section. We want that in a month. You know, and just... You 30 just, I don't know, do something with the interface to make it go zing. Here's money. In fact, you 30, your job is to figure out what we should throw money at next, right? You know what I mean? Like, just, I don't know. Gopher, you're not an epic, she'll stop helping them. It's true, it's true. It's just that it's Kingdom Come Deliverance. Go get Kingdom Come Deliverance. If you haven't played the game and you don't own it, go get it, because Warhorse Studios will get their share of it. A big share of it. They will get an almost full price sale for it, even though you don't pay any money. So go do it. Give them money. I want Kingdom Come Deliverance too, okay? I want Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Leave me alone. Okay, there you go. We've got that bit of news out of the way. Was there any other news that might be relevant to me? And you guys, you know, our community. Again, like not Pokemon. Was there anything that sort of springs to mind as, oh, yeah, this is... Because I'm blanking. I'm completely blanking on that. Frontier posting devlogs now. All right, so we're moving on to mod news then, yeah? Moving on to sort of modding news. Yeah, Frontier definitely ramping up, isn't it? I don't know when they're thinking of releasing, but... I do now have, I think I showed you last time actually. Didn't I show you last time? I do now have a working load order. I think I did show you. I may do an actual full video where I discuss the load order in depth. That I've got, because there are some mods I'm probably going to have to remove for Frontier. So, you know, I have removed some mods already, like a World of Pain, because I do not believe I got enough out of that particular mod. So I am going to wander around some of the areas where I remember there were things for a World of Pain and make sure I don't crash too much. But I also haven't installed... I think the better weapon damages one. I'll have to check that actually. I need to check that. I probably have installed it right now, but I'm thinking of removing it and using bleed instead, because that's the one that Frontier is suggesting. So there are some changes. There are some changes I will possibly make for when Frontier comes out. But you don't need bleed for Frontier. It's brutal as hell. Really. But I'm already using a mod that makes combat so much tougher. It's called Realistic Weapon Damages, I believe. And that makes it brutal too. That does make the game brutal, and I'm used to it. Yeah, Realistic Weapon Damages. So I was thinking of replacing that with bleed. I don't think bleed is going to make it worse than realistic weapon damages. I may be wrong. I may be very wrong. Oh, does the text from the chat make things look a little odd? I think it does, actually. Let's just hide that. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know. This is why I'll probably make a full video, and then I can actually get people having conversations in the chat section. From what you've seen, it's brutal even on normal without any additional mods. Like, you mean like a lot more brutal than the base game? Okay, that's interesting. The thing is what I didn't like about Fallout New Vegas, and the reason I ended up using realistic weapon damages, was the bullet spongy nature of the game. And Jack is pretty high level at the moment, and so with realistic weapon damages, it was very much a matter of he who shoots first wins. And of course, Jack used chems and bullet time and, you know, seriously hard-hitting single-shot weapons, which made combat very, very fast and brutal, but also kind of tense. Very close to AWOP level. Right, but I found a World of Pain. I mean, what little bits I did of a World of Pain, I didn't find, you know. It's not that it's not difficult. It's usually difficult because they throw so much at you. But in those particular cases, I sometimes found that realistic weapon damages didn't make it tougher because although you had to avoid getting hit, when you hit them, it damaged them a lot more. So generally speaking, I'm not a fan of bullet sponge. So if bleed gets rid of the bullet sponge as well as realistic weapon damages, I think I'm probably going to keep it. I can always tweak it. But, you know, I've played Jack this entire time with that level of damage. You know, a single melee weapon could kill Jack. Bleed does get rid of bullet sponges. That's true. Right, that's kind of what I'm looking for. I can't stand bullet sponges. I hate bullet sponges. It's unless I'm playing something like Borderlands. Didn't Project Nevada also remove massive hit point scaling? It might have. It might have. But I generally try and make the Fallout New Vegas fights way tougher, but way faster. I don't want to make them tougher by making them longer and arduous and bullet spongy like they are in Fallout bloody 4. I wanted them to be hard because if I got hit, I was in real trouble. You know, I was really in trouble. So I had to drop everything as fast as humanly possible and definitely use cover and, you know, so. Realistic weapon damage is unfair because the AI is so bad. The AI doesn't matter, though. It's your AI. It's your intelligence that matters. You've got to use the intelligence. You've got to try and stay alive. It really comes down to making sure you keep control of the fight with realistic weapon damages. Because if you don't, if you just wander in... I remember once somebody actually came along to one of my videos and said, oh, realistic weapon damages makes the game easier. I'm like, no, it really does not. So, I mean, and they were specifically talking about the fight with Caesar. They were like, oh my God, you made that fight so trivial with the mods you use. So I uninstalled the mods just to show him how brutally easy it was without the mods. And that was with a suboptimal build. That was a suboptimal build without using VATs either. Because the Jack build is built for the bullet time, the Project Nevada. And once I removed Project Nevada and realistic weapon damages, basically Jack just didn't have a good build at all. He had no build, and he certainly didn't have a VATS build. And so I went into that video and I mangled the enemies. And what's more important, the enemies were punching me and hitting me and kicking me, and I was like not really having much trouble with it. And it was on the toughest difficulty. I was not having that much difficulty with it whatsoever. Whereas with all the mods I used, I went in and just didn't even, like, I think I tried a few different scenarios, like not using the drugs, and got annihilated instantly. If I got so much as hit once, I got utterly, completely total, just insta death. It was ridiculous. So, I mean, I know I'm so awesome at the game, I made it look easy. But the brutal truth of the matter is, with Fallout New Vegas, like a lot of the Bethesda, and in this case Obsidian games, they're not that hard. They really are not that hard. And here's the thing, if I'd have actually played without those mods and done a VATS build, I'd trivialise the game. I'd just trivialise the game, even on the toughest difficulty. You only have to think of someone like Barry with VATS. I trivialised the game with VATS on an Xbox, really. And that was with a controller, and I suck at controllers. So, yeah. But I think those mods for me are essential. Otherwise, I get very bored of the combat. I get very bored of the combat. I feel no tension whatsoever. Whereas with... the other thing is I found a lot of tension with the NPCs as well, with my followers. Because the followers could die easily as well, it really put pressure on. So... yeah. You should try beating Fiends Anonymous without RWD. Probably would be able to, and probably be able to do it easier. As I've said, I mean, I know people seem to think that I don't understand how Fallout New Vegas works, and they seem to think they can keep coming up with scenarios where, oh, this one would totally kill you, this one would totally kill you. Fallout New Vegas is actually one of the games I know ridiculously well. I mean, I know that game inside out. It's the one I modded the most, and by that I mean made mods for the most. But you know, there is this sort of perception that some of the mods may have made it easier because, oh, well, it adds bullet time. Project Nevada adds bullet time. Yeah, but it replaces VATS, and VATS is God mode. VATS is God mode. It was hilarious how you got used to VR easier than you did using a controller too. Yeah. Yeah, I just suck at controllers, okay? I can use controllers for nice camera work, but I can't play. I just cannot play. It's I'm trying to read the chat now. Who was that? What did we got? We got someone subbing, D Hunter, and someone else, G Swine. Thank you very much. Watching Jack get eaten by rats was some of the best parts of the playthrough. Right, I remember that, but I'd already got Realistic Weapon installed then. The problem with Realistic Weapon, well, not the problem, but one of the real dangers with Realistic Weapon damages is it really makes melee hurt. You get hit with a power fist or a sledgehammer, you're going to die, probably, unless you're wearing power armor. It really... Vanilla New Vegas is somewhat hard until you survive Good Springs, which you do pretty much right at the start. He uses a joystick and throttle for spaceships, but not a controller. Right. Because they're totally different things. Oh, I would probably use the controller for driving games, probably. I still think joysticks would be better. But yeah, no, it's you can't really compare a joystick to a controller either. It's a very different implement. I know you get these little joysticks for your thumbs, but controlling those with your thumbs is not remotely the same as controlling a good joystick with your entire hand. Especially the sort of joystick I had with rotation control and the throttle controller. But it does depend on the game. I mean, for example, I found Mark of the Ninja easier with a controller. I just did. I found it a lot easier with the controller. It just gelled with me so much. And I do think for driving games, I would probably get used to a controller much quicker because, again, of the analog nature. but also because you don't aim when you drive vehicles. Generally speaking, you don't aim. Was it Wani? Thank you for the resub. And that's the big difference, isn't it? You know, when you're controlling a vehicle. So I do believe that if I'd been playing Elite Dangerous with a controller, I would have found it easier than a mouse and keyboard. Probably. I'm going to say probably. I know I did play one VR flight sim with a controller, and it was relatively instinctive, because it makes a lot more sense. I think the device. I mean, there's different devices for different types of games, but those games, the games that work well for controllers, in my opinion, generally are ones where, like, you're driving, perhaps. But then I would say steering wheel. If you're playing driving games, get a steering wheel. I would say maybe flight sims, a controller would be better than mouse and keyboard. Again, I'm saying might be because I've not tried a flight sim with one. I'd need to sort of switch between them. But again, if you're doing a flight sim, joystick and throttle. You know, it's... Elite's controls are a pain, whatever you use. I don't think so. I actually think joystick and throttle stick works really well in Elite. I got a joystick and I got a throttle and immediately booted up Elite Dangerous, and I just nailed the landing in the space station. Just nailed it. It felt so easy, so smooth. First time. I didn't do too badly with mouse and keyboard, to be honest. A lot better than everyone was expecting. But with the joystick, and I mean, I hadn't used a joystick for, I don't know, 15, 20 years. And I just sat down, started using it, and it made sense. Everything just made sense. So, did I try a controller for driving in the Rage games? Yes, I did. It was okay. Yeah, it was probably okay. Maybe a little better than with mouse and keyboard. But the driving in that game was a bit... anyway. So, yeah. I don't know. But I couldn't play the main game. I just honestly, I cannot play shooters with a controller. Oh, I don't know how people do it. I just do not know how people do it. And it's not for lack of trying. I mean, people say, oh, you should try it for a few hours to get used to it. And I tried Dark Souls 2 with a controller. Hated it. I mean, hated it. It was really bad. Really catastrophically bad at it. I did play Fallout 4 with a controller, obviously, on the Xbox, but that's why I used VATS in the end. And little things like looting was unpleasant. Like, just trying to turn, look at a container, empty it. Hated it. DS2 has some pretty clunky controls, even if you're used to it. Well, DS2 was okay with mouse and keyboard, as long as you're willing to use a third-party programmer and a lot of ini tweaks. I mean, Dark Souls 2 was perfectly playable if you were technically minded and could fix what the developers failed to do themselves. Fortunately, the developers got it right for Dark Souls 3. They managed to make the keyboard mouse interface work perfectly. So I had no complaints on Dark Souls 3, actually. Straight out of the box, it just worked perfectly fine. But, yeah. One of Kingdom Come Deliverance many times is you can use both methods literally at the same time. Yeah, I quite liked the fact that in Kingdom Come I could have mouse, keyboard, and bloody controller going. It was actually, you know, it was interesting. Did I beat DS3? No, I got bored, to be honest. I got bored. I'm like 25, 30 hours in. Thank you for the gifted subs, Wani. Dark Souls 2 and 3 both had me interested for a while, and it was a lot of fun. It was like my brain off game for a while. I enjoy that sort of game because I can literally switch off my higher brain functions and just go into full-on zombie gamer mode. You know, the whole, like, drooling thing. And it's the perfect game for that, for me. But I did find myself getting a tad bored. And so it was one of those things that one day just stopped playing it and played something else. I do that with games sometimes. I find them entertaining, I find them fun, and then I sort of mentally move on. It's so weird hearing you say you stop playing a game before you finish it. It's so rare on your channel. Yeah, I almost never refuse to finish a game, even if I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Game's not really the greatest game ever. Of course, because I'm doing a Let's Play, I feel sort of obliged to finish it. It's sort of like leaving everyone hanging would feel wrong. But, you know, like Outlast 2, that was a game that I would have dropped. I would have dropped Outlast 2. I would. I think I would have dropped it. There's been a few I might have dropped had I not had an audience. And, you know, Thief I ended. Wastelanders, I suppose you could say I stopped. I got an entire party wipe, and honestly, I felt like it just was not gelling. I began to realise that top-down isometric role-playing games just don't work for my Let's Play style. They work better on live streams. Like Divinity Original Sin works better on a live stream with someone else. But for my channel, I think, generally speaking, first person, or at the very least over-the-shoulder third person, works better. Yeah, I did rant a little bit about Thief. Yeah, but what a disappointment, no. What a disappointment. Part of the problem is I was also playing at the hardest difficulty. Maybe, yeah, maybe I played at the hardest difficulty and I didn't min-max. But honestly, you know, I generally do that. I generally play like that and I don't have many problems. I can't think of many games where I've had difficulty with the difficulty. You know. Swoop literally broke the AI. Yeah, Dreadseeker said it. I mean, that was the problem with Thief for me in the end. The AI. It sucked. It sucked. You can't have an AI that sucky. You know, I mean, really. They don't check bloody cupboards that you might be hiding in. They stop being alerted way too soon. Getting stuck on pebbles. Yeah, that as well. That was annoying. Would I ever do a Red Dead Redemption Let's Play? You mean number 2? Yeah, I'm thinking about doing it. I'm sort of looking for a game to play next. The one that's going to replace The Outer Worlds when that comes to an end. And had Frontier been announced, I might have started that. I was thinking maybe it was going to be Cyberpunk, but we know it's not going to be that now. At the moment, though, it's kind of looking like maybe a Plague Tale because it's going to be a short game. I think I've got that installed, you see. I don't even have Red Dead Redemption 2. So, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 is probably going to be a long game then. So, yeah. When guards found you in earlier games, they'd go on hyper alert once you lost them. Yeah, I mean, for a game like Thief, that's what you want, isn't it? That is what you want. You want the guys to go on high alert. I seem to remember Dishonored 1 had longer alert sessions for the guards, and you had to usually turn off an alarm to get them to go down. And I felt like they looked for you more as well, and I felt like there was some challenge in it. I mean, one of the things people suggested, oh, well, you know, if you think it's too easy, why don't you just play it on the tough difficulty mode where you check box that if you get spotted, it's auto-fail. And I'm like, no, I can't stand auto-fail games. I cannot stand auto-fail games for a start. But second of all, no, I don't want to fail the game. I don't want being spotted to be the equivalent of dying. because then you just reload and start again, and you basically just sort of, I don't know, it's almost like you've got a time machine and you just go back and forth until you finally get everything perfect and you get the perfect walkthrough, and then you think, hey, I'm brilliant at this stealth thing. I didn't get spotted. You did. You got spotted 12 bloody times. You just auto-reload because it auto-failed you. And a big part of games like Thief, for me, is when you get spotted, what do? I'm amazed the number of people who don't realise that games like Hitman have a huge number of mechanics to be used when things go wrong. You know, like if you've been found and you're being chased and you duck around a corner, but then you go up against the corner, and as the person comes through to get you, you sort of like disarm them, and there's just loads of these things, and there's a lot of people I know who played the game who didn't know there was anything you could do but sneak and say garrote people or shoot people with the silent ballers, because that's all they'd ever done, and if they ever got it wrong, they reloaded. It was like, oh, you're missing some of the great parts. I remember one mission in Hitman where I got spotted. I think it was in a hospital run by nuns. And I got spotted and everyone went on alert. And I ended up taking out more or less all the bad guys. And I was using all the vents. I was using the elevators. I was happy because there was loads of them, and you couldn't beat them in a fight. Because I was playing on the tough difficulties, I couldn't just go all in, shoot them as they came upstairs and hope to kill them all, because they actually would take you out. I seem to remember that anyway. But what I would do is I'd be running around, I'd be ducking and losing them slightly, and then coming up behind one of them, killing him. Then as his mates turned around to try and shoot me, duck around a corner, drop down an elevator shaft, and I was doing this like hit and run. It was awesome. It felt just so good. I felt like, Leon. If those of you have seen Leon, the movie, I felt like that. I felt all these guys were all like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Shooting in random directions, and then nothing. And then suddenly I came out of the darkness with a knife and killed them and then faded away. It was like awesome. And there's so many people just don't even know that side of the game exists because they insist upon like reloading because they got spotted. God no. God no. Stealth games, a big part of stealth games is how they handle failure. Your failure, how you are allowed to deal with it. And I actually think Dishonored and Dishonored 2 did a fairly good job of that. They really did a good job of it. So, but they weren't, tough stealth games exactly. But in some ways, I felt Dishonored 2 was tougher than Thief from a stealth perspective. This was a game where you had all these powers. And especially if you did a no power run on Dishonored 2 or Dishonored within reason, it was I think it was actually possible to do a no powered run. I got stuck on my no power run. I got stuck on this one point, but apparently you can do it if you use explosive traps. It's actually possible to use explosive traps to jump up higher. So someone's done it. Red Dead Redemption 2 does have lots of moments where it will fail you and restart. What? No, I gotta remember those in games like Far Cry 2. You got spotted in a mission. Oh no, you failed. And then it reloaded to before you ever had that mission. That I hate. That I hate. I hate. I hate. I hate. I hate. I hate. If you get a mission and part of the mission's criteria is you don't get spotted and you get spotted, you should fail the mission, not fail the game. The game should not reverse. You should go back to the quest giver and say, sorry, I screwed up. Oh, if Red Dead Redemption 2 has that, I'm probably not going to like Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay. Right. Yeah, no. No. The first chapter does not reflect the game. This one is very boring. Watch a Red Dead 2 gameplay. No, I don't watch other people's gameplay, especially on games I've not played before. I would be, if I play Red Dead Redemption 2, it will be blind with no foreknowledge whatsoever. So, but if it's the sort of game where I fail and it restarts me, I'm gonna hate it, guys. I just am. I'll be totally upfront with you and honest with you. Well, it would depend on what sort of game it is. If it's a game I don't take seriously, I might not hate it. Although I didn't like it in Far Cry 2, and I didn't take that seriously. I think it was Far Cry 2 that had that. I think it was. I can't. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game. You know, if you fail, you have to reload the checkpoint of exit the mission. Nah, I'm not. It has checkpoints, but if you fail the mission, can you go back to the quest giver and say, sorry, I failed? And he goes, oh, you suck. And then you just move on with your life? Or does it revert you to a point before you ever took the mission? Because if it reverts you to a point before you took the mission, I'm probably just not interested. It's like you never did it. No, I'm not playing it on a Let's Play, guys. Sorry. There you go. That's one game off the list. There you go. I'm not going to like that. I'm just not going to like that at all. I don't like that. I like to live with my failures. I like to live with the failures. So, you know, if it's an immersive game, if it's a game where I get into it and into the world, if it's a game where I'm just trying to win, you know, if it's your Payday 2 and I'm just in it for the score, I don't mind like that sort of thing. I mean, I'm not looking for... You just opened a can of ripperoni. Sort of. But to be honest with you, why did they spoil me on this? Well, it's a good job they did, because if I'd started the Let's Play and seen those things, I would probably have rage quit the game. And then people would have hated it. People would have hated it because I'd be playing it and that would happen. And I'd be like, what? And then it'd happen again. And I'd be like, done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. Sorry. So no, you've not spoiled a Let's Play for people. You've probably saved people a lot of pain and suffering. It's one of the reasons I don't do the Lonesome Road DLC. Because some people like it. And if I ever did play that DLC, I would make you hate the DLC or me. Or both. Probably both. I often considered playing it just knowing how much fans of that DLC would loathe what... They'd think it was the best thing ever when it started. And as it progressed, they'd get more and more. They'd be like, why are you complaining about this? And why are you... And then there'd just be... It would probably be a short Let's Play as well. People would be raging. I almost did it just to be funny. But you were looking forward to Cowboy Gopher. Here's the thing. It might be the sort of game I could live stream. Because then I'm not really getting too into it. You know, when I'm live streaming, I'm not really in the character. I'm just playing the game for fun. Almost like for the amusement sake of it. But you know, so it's a long game with lots of downtime travel, right? Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, then I'm thinking maybe we try it on a live stream, or I'll try it for myself and live stream some of it. But it doesn't sound like it's a good Let's Play candidate then. So yeah. Barry started as just a bit of a laugh, got to a certain point in the story for mod testing, and then Barry took over. Right, well, here's the thing. If you watch the original Barry Let's Play, though, the one that's on the live channel, you'll notice a big difference in the style, right? Because Barry did start taking over as a character, but then that's because the game allows you to do that. Say what you like about Fallout 4. It still allowed me. I mean, it's weird because the voice protagonist is just wrong. Having Barry have Frank's voice is wrong. It really is wrong. Same with Lance Elliott having Frank's voice. It's wrong. But at the same time, I did get into Barry. And then, of course, I'd moved him to PC and really got into it, so... Jedi Fallen Order. That is a game I keep meaning to buy and try for my lonesome, I think. Do you know what I have installed? I've installed Halo, the Master Chief Collection. I've never played... I don't think I've played Halo. I thought I'd played Halo. I thought I'd played the original, but someone said, no, it's not on PC. And I'm pretty sure... I don't know what it was originally on, what platform it was on. I thought I'd played the original Halo. So, but yeah, I mean, that's not a Let's Play game, but I might stream it. But it's the sort of thing... Oh, did it have a PC edition? I may have played it. I may have played the original. Am I keeping to time? Sort of. We got about another 10 minutes. And we're in just total ramble mode, I'm afraid. What about Mass Effect Trilogy? Here's the thing, guys, right? As I said, I've got the Plague Tale Innocence, which is a shortish game. And this year, we do expect Frontier to come out. And I do want to play Frontier. On top of that, I don't know when Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is coming out. But we do, in the second half of the year, have... Cyberpunk, and we don't know what's happening with Bethesda. Well, I mean, too early to say. There is a possibility of Starfield, and of course, we don't know about Skyblivion. Again, I'm not thinking that's early this year, if this year at all. But there's so many. There are so many things possibly coming in the second half of the year that I don't need to fill my timetable, because I do have... I mean, I'm currently... I've broken ground on Chapter 7 of Leonard. I already know what I'm doing for Chapter 8 and 9 of Leonard. And what else have I got game-wise that... I mean, I'm not saying Mass Effect is not an option, but that's a long Let's Play right there. All 3 Mass Effects with all the DLC. That's a long playthrough. And this year does have a lot of things. South Park 2, for a live stream maybe. Yeah, I mean, so as I said, second half of the year, we're possibly looking at quite a lot of things. And I've got The Outer Worlds has got at least another, what are we up to, 47? We've got another, I don't know, actually. Probably 6 weeks, maybe. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, a month and a half. That'll take us it. So I need something to take over after that, but... I probably don't need something that's going to take much more than about 2 or 3 months before then we might have some other games. So I don't really know. I do not know. Just play Andromeda then. Yeah, let's not do that. I've still got Inquisition. Dragon Age Inquisition. That's probably not a good Let's Play game. From what I've heard is there's quite a lot of grind. I might just play that for myself and live stream bits of it. Just thought, you know. Ever play KOTOR? Yep, number 1 and 2. Loved those games. If there was a KOTOR remaster, yes, I'd play it. I've heard rumours that there's going to be a new KOTOR, but it's not going to be a remaster. It's going to be a reboot. Maybe. But yeah. Dragon Age Inquisition's good in the story department. It probably is, but it's like for a Let's Play, it might just have too much busy work. That's what I've heard. I might be wrong. I have a feeling. I think the thing is there's tons of games people recommend, but I've noticed there are certain games that interest the viewers more. For example, the Witcher series did get a bit more passion to it than a lot of the other series I do. But nothing seems to beat Fallout New Vegas and Skyrim for people's passion. So those games obviously have something that makes the viewing experience better than some of the other games. And I think a lot of it comes down to me being able to play around a little bit. The Witcher was just such a powerful series. I think it got a lot of people to come along. I've got to be looking at games from now on, and if they're long games, I've got to be asking myself, am I going to be dragging the audience along, or are we going to have a very, very small audience? And if it's a huge long series, am I going to be able to keep that going? I mean, The Outer Worlds has not been popular, not really, and it's reasonably long. And I do have to think about things like this, unfortunately. I wonder if it's the history of modding them. Lots of people found you via that. I don't know, though, because when I do my Let's Plays on Skyrim and Fallout New Vegas, I'm not really doing anything mod-related other than using the mods. I think it's more a matter of the fact that in those games, I end up really telling a story about and coming up with a character, whereas in the blind games, I am experiencing the game. So it's two different things. People are watching two different things. Gopher has played Amnesia. Yes, I have. That was probably... In fact, that was the first horror game I played on my channel. It was also the first what I would consider sort of like... Was it my first blind playthrough? It might have been. I think it was. I think it was my first blind playthrough. I loved that game. And I was surprised at how well it was received. I was actually surprised at how well it was received. Machine of Pigs as well. Alien Isolation. Yeah. I mean, these are good games. These are games where I think there's a certain crowd loves to watch them. My horror playthroughs, I think, depending on the playthrough. Outlast 2, for example, I think it fell flat. Mass Effect could have that powerful content. It could, but Mass Effect does suffer a little bit from being gameplay heavy. That's going to sound weird, but think about it from a view perspective. Now, I normally play those games on, like, Insanity. I didn't play the first game on Insanity. In fact, I played the first game on the mid difficulty. But I played Mass Effect 2 and 3 7 times through each. Once to unlock Insanity, and then 6 times to play each class on Insanity. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But I wonder if that's... I mean, it would be fun to watch the challenge, because, you know, playing on Insanity, playing something like a Vanguard in Mass Effect 2 was a challenge, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I don't know how viewable it is, unless it's for people who want to just see me overcome a challenge, and I don't think that's what my channel is about. So, would I play it on a lower difficulty? I don't know. I don't know. That's the other thing. Yeah, Insanity's the hardest difficulty. It's really, really quite tough. And certain classes were almost considered impossible. People were claiming it was impossible to play Vanguard on Insanity. And Vanguard was my favourite class. Of all of the 6 classes, Vanguard was my favourite. I didn't play Vanguard in Mass Effect 1. In fact, I played a soldier, I believe, in Mass Effect 1. But in Mass Effect 2, Vanguard was my favourite, and everyone said it was like absolutely impossible to finish it on Insanity, which, you know, just don't do that to me. Because, like, so I did. And I loved it. And I absolutely loved it. So, Vanguard was the one that did charge. Sentinel is a good class, but it's probably one of the easiest to play Insanity on. Sentinel's OP. Sentinel is OP. Yeah, I mean, it's the OP class. Engineer's more powerful than people give it credit for, actually. Engineer is really quite powerful, but Sentinel's the OP one. The thing with Vanguard's all about getting up close and personal, but at Insanity difficulty, that is tough. But what you've got to do with Vanguard is use the environment and use hit and move tactics. And once you get the hang of it, Vanguard is so rewarding. So rewarding. You feel so awesome when you're playing Insanity. But I don't think it would be a playable, a viewable experience. I think people would think it was entertaining at first, but you sort of have to, a lot of the fights, you have to kind of play 2 or 3 times through them sometimes. Some of the tough fights, you'd be like, oh, right. So there'd be more dying than a Let's Play is good for. So it would make good stream material, but not necessarily good Let's Play. So I probably would play on a lower difficulty. I'd definitely be playing Vanguard. Just loved Vanguard. So I'd probably just be playing on a lower difficulty and going more for the story. But that would still take forever, and it's still very much, you know, there's a lot of fight scenes. So I don't know how that Let's Play would rank in popularity. We'd have to see. We would have to see. I'd love to do like BioShock, but again, 3 games. Not 100% sure it's one of those ones where I'd get a large viewership. So. And I have to think about things like this. I've got to think, what do my viewers want to see? Not just what do a few people want to see. Because I know there's some people want me to play Call of Pripyat. I mean, and I kind of want to play Call of Pripyat, mostly for myself. I'm not sure I want to be exposed to that again. But is it something that most of my viewers would rather watch? Or would they rather watch me do, you know, Fallout New Vegas with Jack? And the answer is pretty simple. They'd prefer Jack. So, I don't know. There you go. I wish I was the sort of gamer that could literally boot up any game and people would watch me play no matter what. But I'm not. Let's just, you know, cards on the table here. People watch me for specific things by the looks of things. There is a section of my community loves to watch me play horror games, for example. But there's a specific reason for it, and it's because I get really into it and get really bloody terrified. And that's because I want to be terrified. I embrace the terror. It's why I'm playing, and that's why they watch it. There's something very specific there, yeah? In Skyrim, it's because of the characters I develop and the stories I tell and, you know, probably all the stupid things that happen. There's always something there. Whereas when I play Metro Exodus, I think, you know, there's still some viewers who enjoy watching me play that sort of game because they want to see how I react to it. Or they like the way I play it, but it doesn't seem to be quite as, I don't know, pinpointed, specific in why, you know what I'm saying? With the horror games, it seems to be because I get really into them, get really sort of scared, but don't scream and squeal. I silently gibber. So. This entire video's mostly been, what should I play this year? So yeah. Alright. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, time is up. It's a shame I never played Gothic when it came out. Yeah, time is up, ladies and gents. We need to wrap this up. And I will be back next week to ramble about things that... I feel like we've had this particular ramble several times now. Like... I get the feeling we're having the same ramble. I feel like many of you might be as old as me, and you're just turning up so we can just chat about the same old thing over and over again. Like you do when you get old. Play every game ever. So, should we pick the topic up next week? Yeah, probably. So anyway, remember, Kingdom Come Deliverance, free, over on the Epic Game Store. Go get it if you've not got it. It'll, you know, even if you don't play it, the developers will get some money. So there you go. See you guys on Sunday. We will, of course, be doing Divinity Original Sin on Sunday. Feel free to join me for that. And other than that, thank you for joining me and see you next time. And guess what I've sorted out this time? Guess what I've sorted out this time? Please work, please work, please work. Yes! Shut up. I'm happy. Credits. Yes, I got credits. See? Professional streamer here, ladies and gentlemen. Professional streamer. Oh, one thing while the credits are rolling. Next week, the news. There might be news. There might be furniture news. I may be sat at a new desk next week. Dun, 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 dun. I've ordered a desk. I've ordered a desk. Next year, order a new chair. See, I've got a plan. Technically, I want to order the chair pretty much as soon as the desk has come, but I know what I'm like. I know what I'm like. So I'm going to keep my expectations low. But I've got a desk coming, I think. I'll tell you all about it. I may even do some video shots so you can see it. We're going professional now. Oh, yeah. Desk and door emotes. I got the door sorted. I think I've got the desk chosen. They're gonna come deliver it and build it for me because that's it. I'm not going any cheap IKEA thing. Like, you know, serious business person here. Something that's solid, reliable, and if I break it, I can phone someone and say, please come and fix it.